Here we have all of the iPhones dating back to the iPhone 11, and we all know that the new ones just dropped. But if you or someone you know may be wondering, should I upgrade my phone? And which one do I upgrade to? This is your video. But really quick, let's take a look at the options. So first off, we've got the iPhone 17. That is the base model. And this year, the value you get from the 17 is drastically better. Apple finally added some of the pro features that this was missing. So we've got like a much better screen, fusion cameras. Overall, this is a really good option. But I will say this, anytime I recommend the base model, if this is good enough for you to upgrade to, that means these are good enough for you to upgrade to. So if you happen to have a little bit of cash, more money to splurge, or maybe you want a little bit more, here's like a really simple and quick summary of what you get with the Pro model compared to this base model. One, of course, you're going to get better performance. It's going to be able to do a bit more, might last you another year or two. You also get more zoom out of the camera thanks to the additional telephoto lens. And of course, you get more battery life. So this year, I think those are the three main things that really differentiate the Pro from the base model. Where things get tricky is this guy. With the Air, you are getting a beautiful phone. This thing is super thin. It feels premium. It looks really good. It's lightweight. It's an awesome feeling phone, but you are giving up a couple of things. Battery life being the biggest. I think it has the weakest battery out of the whole lineup this year. That makes sense considering how thin it is. But you also are giving up on the camera side too, because you only have a single lens, and that means you do lose out on some of the features that you can do with these guys. Not to mention, you also are missing a speaker on the bottom. The solid phone, if you're willing to make those compromises compared to these guys. And you might have such an old phone that the battery life over here might be better anyways. But one thing that these all share is much faster charging speeds, which is perfect for our sponsor, Torras. So check it out, no matter which iPhone you upgrade to this year, you'll want a charger that can handle the new fast charging speeds. And this Torras Flexline charger is definitely one of my favorites. It pushes 67 watts for max charging speeds, and it has a built-in retractable USB-C cable that's durable, 1 meter long, and it snaps back into place with a magnetic lock. And I love this because it means no more looking around for a charging cable or carrying one around when you want to take it on the go. And there's even a second USB-C port if you want to charge 2 devices at once. And Torras also dropped their new mini mag power bank. And this right here is an ultra slim, lightweight MagSafe power bank that attaches right to your phone without adding any bulb. It's got an aluminum finish to stay cooler, slips right into the pocket easily, and it even has a USB-C port so you can charge wired or wirelessly. Honestly, both of these are really great pickups for the new iPhones or even the older ones. And guys, that wall charger, definitely my favorite, but I'll of course have them linked down below. But let's get started. We're gonna start with the oldest, the iPhone 11. And honestly, we're just gonna lump these three together, whether you have the 11, 11 Pro, or 11 Pro Max. I'm shocked that you made it last this long. Good for you. You take care of your stuff. But these guys right here, you can easily upgrade to the iPhone 17. If you're coming from the Pro models, even though these have telephoto lenses, with the 17, you're gonna get those fusion cameras. They're gonna give you better overall pictures than what you're using with these guys. So it's a fair upgrade to go with the 17 with all of these, which also means you can look at the Pro models as well based on what you want. But 17 alone feels like an upgrade compared to any of these. Now, these were slimmer phones back in the day, so if you want that still and you want to take a look at the Air, I still feel like that's a safe choice here. Battery on the Air is going to perform better than 6-year-old batteries that are inside of here. So pretty much any phone in the lineup can work, but if you're holding on to these for this long, I say you can look at the 17 as the phone to look at, or the Air if you want to switch it up. All right, so now we're moving on to the 12 lineup. And it's safe to say you should upgrade if you have any of these. Now, if you're coming from the iPhone 12 or even the iPhone mini, easy recommendation for me is going to be the iPhone 17. Now with the iPhone 17, you're going to get a much better display. You're going to get better camera system, better battery life. So that is the upgrade that makes a lot of sense for me. You can even take a look at the iPhone Air, considering these are the smaller units, especially if you're coming from the mini. The mini had terrible battery life. At this point, the 12 battery or the mini battery is not going to feel as as good as the iPhone Air. So Air is also a safe upgrade. Even with that single camera, it's going to perform better than what you've got in these guys. Now, when it comes to the iPhone 12 Pros, I still feel like you can go with the iPhone 17 and still feel like you're getting a really nice upgrade in comparison. You're getting a better display. You're still getting really strong 48 megapixel camera lenses with both cameras in the back of the 17. Now, you do miss out on that telephoto, but zooming in, you're gonna be fine in comparison to what the quality of the 12 Pro models had. So I still feel fine recommending the 17 here, especially considering how much faster the charging is. So you get faster charging, better screen, better quality cameras, and you get better performance with that A19 chip. Now, when it comes to the Air feels just as premium as these beautiful phones did back in the day, but you will be trading off those cameras. So if you've realized over time you don't use all of the camera lenses on here and you really want something much thinner, you can go with the Air. Still gonna feel like a really solid upgrade. Camera variety is where it might start to hurt over here, but I think the overall package of the Air might feel good enough to give it up. But none of that matters if you got the Pacific blue color. Never upgrade until Apple brings it back. Apple bring it back. Best color ever. Gene, you know, you're a man of class. And now we gotta talk about the 13 lineup. So here's the thing. If you have an iPhone 13 or 13 mini, you absolutely have to upgrade. The iPhone 17 is going to feel like a huge upgrade in comparison to these models, especially when it comes to battery life, faster charging speeds, but also just using the phone on a daily basis. You're gonna get a much better display with the iPhone 17, and you're gonna get a better camera system. So the entire thing is going to feel like a massive upgrade. It's gonna feel much faster than these guys. It's gonna last longer. It's just an overall easy recommendation to go with the 17. The iPhone Air also feels like a really good upgrade from the 13 or the 13 mini. So you get way better screen, faster charging, a really nice camera, easy recommendation for the Air 2. Now, when it comes to the 13 Pros, you might give it a little bit more consideration. Do I still think it's time to upgrade these? I'd say so, but I think you could make it work a little bit longer if you've taken really good care of your phone. 13 Pro Max had great battery life back in the day. Only thing is, 4 years later, the capacity is not gonna be the same as when you first got it. So it's worth considering. These also have ProMotion displays, which is a huge differentiator compared to all of the other phones we've talked about so far. So you get that premium, really nice feeling screen, and you've got a solid camera system in the back. Now for me, if I'm gonna be upgrading from these guys, I'm gonna be looking at the Pro lineup. So iPhone 17 Pro or the 17 Pro Max, because that's where I think you're gonna feel the upgrade the most. I think you're gonna want a little bit more from everything else the Pro offers to kind of make up for what you have here. Now, you can consider the iPhone Air if you really just want to change up the way your phone feels, you want to try something new, but you will be taking a hit on battery life. That decision is yours. If they still work well, you could probably get another year out of these, but I'd start considering the upgrade. Now, looking at the iPhone 14 and the 14 Plus, it's time, baby. Get them out of here. These guys, I absolutely think you should upgrade from. With the iPhone 14, you're definitely looking at the iPhone 17. It's an easy upgrade. You're getting a better screen, better cameras, better everything. Now, with the 14 Plus, things start to get a little bit harder, only because these Plus models are really known for just having really great battery. With the 14 Plus, I think it might be worth considering looking at the 17. While you might not get the same battery life right out the gates, it does charge a lot faster, and you get an overall better experience with pretty much everything else about the phone. I think it kind of makes up for it. Now, I mean, you could look at the iPhone 17 Pro Max if you want that really strong battery life still, but if you've been looking at the baseline models and you don't want to spend that much, 17 is where it's at. Now, if we're talking about the iPhone Air, coming from the 14, I think that's an easy upgrade. You get a better screen, you also get a better looking camera. You don't get both lenses, but I feel like the trade-off is fine. When it comes to the 14 Plus, if you bought this phone because of battery life, that may give you some pause. You might need to get used to charging that guy a little bit more. Now, when it comes to the 14 Pros, these are solid phones. You can still hold on to these probably like another year or two, but it's worth considering the upgrade. Now, obviously, it makes sense to go from Pros to the Pro models, and there's some pretty good reasons to do it. You're getting better overall camera performance, better performance in general with the A19 Pro, but you're also getting a few other things as well. So with these newer phones, you get access to that action button on the left side. It's basically like a shortcut button to a feature that you want quick access to. And you also have the camera control button over here so that you can just open up your camera right from pressing that button. And you also get some solid touch controls here as well. So there are some physical upgrades that these offer that these don't. Battery life is definitely better over here, but marginally. So that's not going to be the reason you upgrade, unless your battery capacity has dwindled pretty quickly over the years and these don't hold up as well as they used to. But one of the other big reasons is that these now have USB Type-C. Unfortunately, with the iPhone 14 Pro models, you're still looking at the Lightning cable. In today's age is getting phased out and you're seeing less and less of it. So there are some solid reasons to go for the Pro. Definitely from a performance perspective, everything you used to do here, this will do better, and you get the action button and camera control. Now, if you are curious about the iPhone Air coming from the Pro models, I don't know if I would really go for this guy unless you just have to have the thin phone this year.
He's standing up for the 14.
Oh, you have a 14 Pro, right? You're like, you wouldn't upgrade, would you, to the Air?
No, not the Air, no.
No, 14 is going strong.
Oh,
still. 14 Pro is going strong still.
So you've got some fellow 14 Pro users over here. And they wouldn't. You have the 14 Pro? Oh, y'all just the 14 Pro crew. Okay, and nobody would go for the Air in here?
No.
So if you're one of those folks who just have to have it, it's your choice to make. It's still a good phone, but you're definitely making some sacrifices here. So now we're hitting more recent times and we're looking at the 15 lineup. So over here we have the 15 and the 15 Plus. Now these, you can upgrade if you'd like. They're definitely gonna be able to hold you down for 2 years, 3 if you wanna make it work. So when you're looking at the base model, it makes sense to look at the base model this year, which does have some solid upgrades. You get the better overall screen, faster, brighter. You also get the action button, which was left out on the base models of the 15. And you of course have that camera control button if you want that quick access to the camera. Now, you also have faster charging with the 17 models, and that will make up for anybody coming from the iPhone 15 Plus, which had a bigger battery capacity. Unfortunately, this year, there's no Plus model for the base models. This is the one you get, but it is a bigger screen at least. It's a 6.3-inch display compared to 6.1 and 6.5. So it's right in the middle of these guys. You won't be missing out on too much from the Plus, and it is just bigger compared to the regular. Not to mention the performance and the cameras are just better than these guys, but you don't need to upgrade just yet. If you want to though, you will feel a difference in performance with anything here. Although if you're coming from the 15 Plus with that great battery, you're gonna be missing out on that with the Air, but the Air feels way more premium and it's more powerful than these guys. Now, when it comes to the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max, I wouldn't upgrade personally. You can for sure, but you definitely want to look at the Pros so it can feel like a proper upgrade. You will be getting that camera control button, better battery life, and a brighter screen. Honestly, for me, if your phone is in perfect working condition, I don't think you need to upgrade from the 15. And now we got to look at last year's phones, the 16 lineup. Now, when we're looking at the 16 or 16 Plus, you don't have to upgrade, honestly. I mean, you just got the phone last year, relax. But if you feel like you have to, I'd say look at the Pros, right? Because you're gonna wanna feel a leap in that experience. You're gonna want maybe like that telephoto lens, that A19 Pro, so you can do more. But then again, these are in 2 different price ranges. So if you weren't looking to spend Pro money, you don't need to upgrade. You can go with the Air if you've been dying to have like a really thin phone. You wanna switch up your experience. You just gotta make sure you know the sacrifices that you make with that upgrade, considering that this doesn't have as great of a battery life. You only have that single camera, which might not be a big deal for some people, but I love the ultra wide, so I wouldn't give it up. And you also miss out on that bottom speaker. So you only have a really loud top speaker. Now, if you have the 16 Pro or 16 Pro Max, don't do it. Just don't. You don't need it. Relax. All jokes aside though, I don't know if there's much to gain. Even looking at the Pro models, you can get a little bit more performance, longer lasting performance. Honestly, if you're coming from the Pros, the only thing that makes sense to upgrade to is the Air. And I don't mean that in the sense that you're getting a better phone. This is just to switch up the experience. You want a thinner phone, you're dying for a thin phone. You're willing to give up all the things that a Pro offers just so you can have that thinness, go for it. Anything else though, I say you don't need to. And last but not least, we have the newest iPhone before this year's lineup, the 16E. And that is a budget phone, right? So I feel like the person who recently purchased this shouldn't be looking at these phones anyway. That phone in your pocket is still relatively new, so you don't really need any of these.
Ex gave it to you.
Unless your ex gave it to you, very specific. You need to get rid of it, move on, go ahead, get the 17 and then call it a day. But you also don't need to upgrade since it's so new. I mean, yes, you can get these and get a more premium experience, but I imagine the 16E was purchased with being budget conscious in mind. So you might not want to spend the extra money on these over here if this was good enough in the first place. I think we did it, y'all. We just went through all of the iPhones back to the iPhone 11. We didn't include the like 10s of the world. Like, if you're still rocking that, yes, upgrade. Now's the time. Pick any one you want, do it. But that about wraps it up, guys. Hopefully you found this useful. And if you know someone who could benefit from watching this video so they can know if they should upgrade from one of their phones, go ahead and send it to them. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Still lots of content to come. Till then, peace. All of y'all really got the 14 Pro? What was going on that year?
14 Pro game.
Where's mine? Oh, here it is.